Okay, I think we're at part 9. Not sure, but anyway. So here's the soundboard. I've already got 2 coats of Minwax polyurethane clear. It's starting to come out pretty good for what it is, you know. It's got a pretty neat flame pattern at certain angles. You can see the flame patterns. So what I do is I put one coat of the first coat I put on there. I didn't like it, and I just took a rag and went like this, and actually it looked pretty good. It was kind of like a flat finish, but it was just smooth and no lint or anything in it. It's pretty hard to get it perfect without lint or dust. If you had a clean room with all the stuff, yeah, but we don't have that here. So I wet sand it with 400 grit wet, and then I use 800 grit. I use a block, but it's not the most even piece of veneer because it's been recycled. But for what it is, it's not too bad, I'm going to put several more coats on it. Just had this out in the sun drying. It's been pretty cold here, so it takes a long time for it to dry. But, it's starting to get pretty shiny. I don't really want it to be shiny, but that's just the way it is, with what I have. It's kind of cool though. It's starting to come together. And I just do it in my atrium over there with the door closed and window closed and everything like that. And this is the original soundboard that Stanley made. This is where I took the veneer off of it and used it on that. And it's so weird. He's got these little brass eyelets embedded here, and then the veneer was over it. I don't know if that's a good idea, bad idea. I don't know if they're all the same size. I think the bass strings are a little bit thicker around. I don't know if they'd fit through there, but this is just kind of a mock-up for where I got this poplar that I'm going to have to figure out how to make the rub molding on the sides. And basically what I'm going to do is just mark it so that it hides all these holes that are here, and there'll be screws there with the one I'm putting in, so they're going to be countersunk wood screws. And then I'm just going to lay one like this, and then have a little strip, maybe about a 1/2 inch. It's going to go like that, but it's going to have a strange angle because of that bend this way. So I was trying to figure out how to do that, and I'm just going to split this on just like this with a jigsaw. I was thinking of putting an angle on that, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these in half, and then I'm going to put it in 2 vices that I have on the bench, and then with the plane I'm just going to go at the edge and just start planing it kind of at an angle like this, so that when it meets up here it'll be nice, and then all the edges will be sanded down or planed to give it kind of a, no, I don't know what you call it, a bevel, or, but anyways, that's where I'm at with the harp, and it's definitely a long process. So this is what I'm using right here. Oil-based. I like a polyurethane because it's kind of plasticky and it'll bend with the soundboard. And I'm just going to, this is a piece of just a scrap piece of redwood that I'm putting a clear, several coats I'm going to put on here. And then if I decide to do a design on that, you know, with acrylic paint, I'm going to first test it out on here, you know, and then put a clear over that, see if it disturbs the design. I mean, I guess you can buy decals and stuff, but I found some. I didn't really like anything I saw. I'm going to just try to copy off the internet some old Celtic something, just a little bit of design with gold and black and bronze acrylic paint. That'll look pretty decent. So that's where I'm at for this episode. Got it drying in the sun. I just wet sanded it, and there's you can see the high and low spots, like the brighter white color. Those are the high spots, and the dark colors are the low spots. So I just keep adding a clear coat, and when it dries, it takes about 2 days for each coat to dry, because it's not super hot here, wintertime. And then I wet sand it, and I just keep doing it over and over again. There's a lizard. And slowly build up those low spots and get it to be flat. It's kind of wavy because, for one thing, all those boards are making it kind of wavy, but it's just a recycled veneer. It's a nightmare. But so I just bring it in here and put it down on my homemade workbench. Then I just got wet sandpaper, 400 grit. I have 800 grit. I got 220 grit. And this is where I lay it out, and then I just brush on a coat and just keep at it. Here's the piece this is the piece I'm going to experiment on, painting a design on here and then putting a clear over it and see how it looks, see if I like it like that. Anyways, that's the update for today. It's November 11th. And gosh darn, I started this in I think in September, October, November, so about 3 months. I had it I got it in August, and I didn't video all the repairs on this door that Stanley had cut out. I didn't think I was going to make a YouTube channel on it, but I'm just doing it. It's just for my amusement or my recollection memories when I'm 90 years old. I remember doing that, you know, so I do that with all my projects. Anyway, so that's it for today. you can see how much stuff gets into it. Just some of those bubbles might pop and stuff, but that's okay. They all come out when I sand it. Like some of this is fairly decent. You know, I could get, I found that there's a Minwax satin and flat. There's a warm flat too. And if I put that on there, it'll get rid of the shine and you won't see so many, you know, imperfections. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. All right, so we've got coat number 3 on. I did it yesterday morning. So usually it takes about 2 days for it to dry. And it's looking better. Still got some ripples in it, but it's because of the because of these slats here, and they had to be it had to be plain because it starts down there at a 1/4 inch, and then you have to taper it to 1/8 of an inch up here. So each slat I had to take a plane and make it thinner and thinner and thinner, and then I sanded it, the entire thing, the best I could. But still, you have like little steps down. Then I had to glue the veneer on there. And it was pretty flat when I had the veneer on it. But, you know, it's transmitting, the veneer is transmitting the uneven step down. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not completely flat like I wish I could get it. I'm just hoping that God, you feel it. It feels really flat. But every time I wet sanded it down a little bit, and then add more clear, it fills up these low spots. So what I want is eventually when you look down at it, I don't know if it's like an optical illusion or yeah, you can see certain areas, but that's also, this hasn't been wet sanded, so I'll just keep adding. I don't know, it might have about 7 coats. So this is number 3. I think at number 6 coat, I'll stop there and then do a design in acrylic and then put one last clear coat over that. But as I say, before I even attempt that, this is what I'll practice putting a design on and then putting a clear coat on this over a design. I just want to see if it how it affects the design. It's going to be acrylic paint. It's the only thing I can think of. It's either that or a decal, but the decals always look, I don't know, cheesy. And some of those decals can be $80, you know. So anyways, so restoring the Harp on a budget.